Coming on the air with breaking news right now and another major escalation in the Middle East. Air raid sirens sounding in Israel as the Iron Dome appears to intercept new strikes from Iran. Those strikes are in retaliation to Israel's massive attack on Iran overnight. When Israel targeted top Iranian military leaders and nuclear scientists, dozens of people were killed and hundreds more were injured from that attack just in the capital city of Tehran. And now this retaliation is raising tensions in the Middle East. We've just gotten some new video that's come into the newsroom here. You can see some of the Iron Dome over Tel Aviv in action here. We understand these are some of those missiles being fired from Iran and intercepted in Tel Aviv. But we also have other video from tonight that shows something, whether they be drones or missiles, some type of something falling from the sky and exploding over Israel and landing, clouds of black smoke in parts of Tel Aviv tonight as well. If we can roll that video at some point that we've gotten into the newsroom as well, you see it right here. These are the kind of images that they don't want to see in Tel Aviv, obviously. Possibly, again, drones or missiles, something getting by that Iron Dome and causing those fires and that smoke. Keir Simmons is in the region for us. He's been covering everything that's happened since Israel launched that preemptive attack, first on Tehran and Iran last night. Keir, what do you know about what's happening right now?
Well, Tom, we've heard the sirens across Tel Aviv. You can see the picture for yourself, that smoke rising above that Israeli city. And there are fears in Tel Aviv, looking at these images from people on the ground, that there may be some missiles that have struck somewhere in Israel. In the past, when Iran has launched strikes like this, its missiles have landed, but not landed anywhere to do any substantial damage. I will tell you, Tom, that I'm told by an Israeli military official that dozens of Iranian ballistic missiles, and this was that person talking with a text message a short time ago, that dozens of Iranian ballistic missiles are en route to Israel, and that the people of Israel have been instructed to remain in bomb shelters until further notice. We saw one dramatic moment, Tom, when a briefing by the Israel Defense Forces was cut short. The briefer was talking about the Israeli strike on Iran and then paused, and then you heard the alarm, and then the feed simply cut. And that was the first indication we had that there was the threat of incoming Iranian ballistics on central Israel. And that is what we're seeing now, that threat. The question, of course, now tonight here is, has any of those Iranian munitions struck, or have they all been intercepted by Israel's very capable Iron Dome system?
It is 9:24 right now in Israel. The Iron Dome, which I've seen up close here, I know you have as well, essentially works on a radar system. It sees these incoming missiles, these incoming drones, and then essentially rocket launchers that are in hidden parts throughout Israel shoot off, and it intercepts those missiles or drones. The problem is it can be overwhelmed. That's possibly what happened here tonight. As you mentioned, dozens of ballistic missiles. The system can get overwhelmed at times. It has an incredible rate of efficiency, but again, at times bombs and missiles and drones can get through it. And Keir, I don't know if you have return, if you can see these images. It looks like that smoke is pouring out from downtown Tel Aviv, where people live, where people work. Again, it's 9:24 p.m., but you can see the lights on in those buildings there right now. The sirens we know throughout Tel Aviv have been going off, alerting people to get to bomb shelters. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.